Einen wunderschönen Willkommen zum heutigen Abend. Willkommen zu einer weiteren Runde Foolish Mortals. Nachdem Murphy McCallan Abigail Bellemore aus ihrem Liebesbann befreit hat, muss er herausfinden, wie er den bösen John Rackham aufhalten kann, bevor der Bann erneut wirkt. Wir haben sie doch noch nicht, ne? Oder so. Aber das haben wir doch, wir haben, also, nein, haben wir noch nicht hier. Ja, das auf jeden Fall, aber das passte gerade nicht. Weil wir haben sie ja noch nicht. Wir brauchen noch eine Klangwalze. Und überhaupt, ich habe das Gefühl, wir drehen uns im Kreis. Hm. Hier brauchen wir noch eine Stange zum Rüberklettern, ne?
I thought it best to leave Cordelia to her work.
Und wunderbare Sprecher, habe ich schon mal erwähnt.
The door was locked. The door was locked.
Aber ich glaube, es ist abgeschlossen.
The door was locked.
Zum Beispiel das mit der Tür. Ja, also nicht mit der. Hier brauchen wir eine Walze. Der hat eine Walze.
I took the record from the recording machine. With its outer coating worn away with age, it wasn't in a state to record onto.
Machen wir
That
Schießpulver.
wasn't going to work. I didn't need to dust that. It was a cylindrical record for making sound recordings, covered in a thin layer of black wax. This one was old, worn, and unusable. The candle wax looked like it might work as a replacement coating for the record, if I could find a way to apply it.
Okay, wir brauchen Feuer. 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 Die brauchen auch Feuer. Wo war denn das Feuer? Da war Feuer.
I dropped the candles into the empty pot hanging in the fireplace. They soon began to melt and bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble.
Goodness gracious! That isn't more satanic sorcery, is it?
I'm sorry, I was just quoting Macbeth.
Well, don't.
Nun tun sie es nicht. Okay. Ja,
Carefully, I dipped the record into the molten candle wax. Once pulled out, the thin layer of wax rapidly cooled, leaving me with a blank, reset record.
sehr gut. In der Feuer nachher. Abendhauptding. Das habe ich noch nicht verstanden. Das geht nicht. Brauchte der Drache. Vielleicht ist eine andere Reihenfolge. Also wer da eine Idee hat, darf sie gerne äußern. So, wir haben Wachs.
I placed the freshly reset record back on the recording machine. Excuse me, Ezra, could you play the wedding march?
A request? Sure thing, Murphy.
Hier geht die Braut.
Thank you very much. I clicked off the machine and picked up the newly recorded record.
Was war das denn für ein Geräusch, bitteschön?
I placed the record into the phonograph. Now I just needed the remaining wedding items before I started it up. It was a bridal veil made of delicate, intricately woven lace. I didn't need to cut that.
Die Blumen brauche ich noch. Und Kuchen.
The door was locked. I had nothing else to say to her. Good evening, Father Foskett.
Hello again, my child.
I've heard there's a witch in the house.
I'm afraid you've heard correctly. A terrible lapse in judgment on the part of the Bellemore brothers, I'm afraid. And now look at what's happened.
Who is she?
I don't rightly know, but she must have something to do with this evil state we find ourselves in.
I best be heading off.
God be with you.
Good evening, Colonel.
What? Why, thank you. I didn't think anyone would notice.
Ja.
I needed to be outside if I wanted to reach the tree.
Vielleicht ist es in einer anderen Reihenfolge. Und hier ist ein grüner Teppich. Ne. Die Türen sind alle anders. Ne. Oh, jetzt müssen wir mal gucken, hat es gegriffen? Sehe ich da irgendwas, wenn es greift? Oh, Exception. Was steht denn da? Fail to execute command. Oh je. Ach, der hat nicht die nötigen Rechte. Was muss ich machen, um die nötigen Rechte zu geben? Machen wir mal live hier. Ja, falsche. Was braucht er denn für nötige Rechte? Ach so, er braucht in Twitch die nötigen Rechte, hä? Ah. Muss ich nicht jetzt machen. Okay, mache ich nicht jetzt. Mache ich dann später. So. Ich straggle jetzt hier ein bisschen. Ach so, da. Die sind alle einzeln da oben.
After my escapades with the fish and its hidden horseshoe, I had had quite enough of taxidermied animals. After my escape, 4 animal heads protruded from the wall like those painted boards you'd push your head through for a photograph at the seaside. The vicar had a face pulled so tight it looked like he was sucking on a sour lemon. His haughtiness suggested he was the kind of vicar who would criticize St. Peter for letting too many people through the gates.
Oh, also Rassist.
The colonel's formerly amiable expression had been completely erased by his apoplectic anger at the vicar. While his eyes were frozen in rage, his mustache was quite the opposite, bristling back and forth on his upper lip like a hairy gray caterpillar having a seizure.
Hier muss sich das Wetter, glaube ich, ändern, damit ich den Schirm kriege.
That wasn't going to... What do you think of this brooch?
Oh my, Murphy, now that is a lovely sight. It would look even lovelier pinned to my dress.
Good evening, Miss LaRue.
Why, hello again, Murphy.
I best be running along.
Ta-ta for now.
Oh Gott, ich war ja nicht. Doch, war ich.
All of the smaller barrels I could see were rotted and empty. The wine racks were largely bare. What few bottles remained were cracked and empty. It was a hand truck, used for shuffling the barrels around the cellar. There was nothing large that I needed to move. It was a Brobdingnagian barrel that put all the other barrels to shame. I didn't want to make a hole in that. It was an electric machine used to raise and lower barrels from the floor of the cellar to a hatch up at ground level. Now that I had my contraption working, I thought I'd leave the barrel lift running, just in case the cellar started to flood again.
Hier können wir nichts machen. Die K. If you checked what?
It was a feather duster made out of ragged black ostrich feathers. It was an old pair of pliers, covered in rust but just about usable. It was an empty soda bottle I'd found on the beach. It was the small round magnet I'd been given by the jeweler, meant to attach a brooch without piercing clothing. I didn't need to wear the brooch, and obviously its red stone wouldn't suit my jade complexion. It was a pair of scissors from the newspaper office. It was a screw jack, the type I'd normally see being used to hold up a motor car when changing its tire. It was a pair of handheld bellows used for stoking a fire.
Nee, kann nicht. Achso. Hat einer eine Idee? Einfach nur mal so in den Raum geworfen. Ich habe nämlich keine gerade. Ich hänge ein
I
bisschen...
wondered if there was something useful in the library.
Das ist...
The bookshelves were filled with tomes on every subject I could imagine. Astronomy to music, numerology to zoology, each with faded spines and dusty covers. It was one of a pair of carvings positioned on either side of the room. It was a devilish carving of a satyr, half man, half goat, holding a shield. Nope. I needed to think of something else. I needed to... I didn't need to search for a book right now. I already felt like I was in one. It was a wooden cabinet covered in small drawers used to find specific books throughout the vast library.
Können wir irgendwas mit den Pistolen machen? Wir müssen sie ja dazu bringen, dass eine nicht schießt. Oder sie daneben schießen. Weil sie sammeln ja ihre Kugeln auf. Sie verfehlen nicht.
The small mahogany table held an assortment of paraphernalia for loading the pistols. Would you like a rematch of the pistol duel?
What a wonderful idea! Boys, guns on the table. Murphy, load 'em up.
The button magnet was exactly the right size for the barrel of each pistol, but it would have become a bullet itself if I'd loaded it inside.
Der Magnet hat die richtige
The
Größe.
button magnet was exactly the right size for the barrel of each pistol, but it would have become a bullet itself if I'd loaded it inside. Stealthily, I took the button magnet from my pocket and affixed it to the end of the ramrod. With its small size, it could barely be spotted.
Das war's.
One at a time, I poured the powder into the muzzle of the pistols. I then dropped the shot into each muzzle.
Und sie guckt zu, ne?
Finally, I patted the contents down with the ramrod. When the ramrod emerged, the magnet I'd attached brought the shot with it. With the prestidigitation of a magician, I dropped it discreetly back into the shot tub. To anyone else, the pistols appeared to be properly loaded.
Keiner von beiden. Die schießen daneben und
Remember,
keiner
boys,
von...
if you miss, you're not the man for me. Fire!
You missed. You missed too.
You both missed. Are you sure the pistol's fired?
I don't see any bullet holes. The pistols must not have been loaded properly.
Come on, Murphy, this is important. We're not playing games here.
My mistake. I'll load them correctly next time. It seemed that without bullet holes, my sabotage wasn't going to work. Inspired by the pistol duel, a plan began to form in my head. With 2 wooden carvings on either side of the room, I could bore a rough hole in each of them. My, look at the carving. All wooden and carved and wooden. Yes, these certainly are some of the most carved pieces of wood I've ever had the privilege of seeing. When I was finished, they looked passably like bullet holes. Would you like a rematch of the pistol duel?
What a wonderful idea! Boys, guns on the table. Murphy,
Guns on the
load 'em up.
table.
One at a time, I poured the powder into the muzzle of the pistols. I then dropped the shot into each muzzle. Finally, I patted the contents down with the ramrod and once again palmed the shot.
Remember, boys, if you miss, you're not the man for me. Fire!
I'm not hit. Well, neither am I.
You both missed. Are you sure the pistol's fired?
Look, there's a bullet hole in the carving. And in the carving over there.
So what does that mean? Who lost?
Looks like you both did.
Then who's going to accompany Miss LaRue?
I think the lady's words were, if you miss, you're not the man for me.
But we both missed.
He's right. If you're both losers, I can't take either of you to the wedding. I'm not dating a man that can't shoot straight.
Tallulah, we can talk about this. Give us another chance.
I'm sorry. My mind is made up. Here, Murphy. You can have this. I won't be needing it anymore.
Ta-ta. Einladung. Familie Bellemore lädt Sie und einen Gast herzlich ein, der Hochzeit von Fräulein Abigail Bellemore, ihrem Verlobten, beizuwohnen am Abend vor Allerheiligen 1899 im stattlichen Bellemore Manor auf dem Teufelsfels in Louisiana. Bitte bringen Sie diese Einladung mit für einen temperamentvollen Abend voller Tanz und Fröhlichkeit zur Feier der ewigen Seelenverwandten. Die freundlichen Grüße mit die
It
Familie
was an
Bellemore.
invitation to the waltz in the Bellemore Manor ballroom.
So, jetzt lass mich durch, ich bin Arzt.
You know, it's funny, I completely forgot I had the invitation on me the whole time. It's these vest pockets. They're much bigger than they look. Seriously, you wouldn't believe the number of things I've been carrying around with me tonight.
You have an invitation?
It'd be rude not to show my face.
Are you absolutely sure about that? I'm sure our guests could survive without beholding the sight of your singular visage. You see, as the housekeeper, it is my job to ensure that only guests of the highest class are in attendance.
How kind of you to think so highly of me.
Look, just don't try burping the alphabet or announcing when you're going to the lavatory.
I had nothing else to say to her.
Ja, das ist genau richtig. Alter, ist die biestig. Kann ich ein Stück Torte anschneiden? Das fällt doch bestimmt nicht auf, oder?
It was too far away to cut a slice.
Ach, da müssen wir einfach ein bisschen dichter hingehen.
Please, keep clear of the dance floor!
Murder on the dance floor.
The dancers were too far away to talk to.
Gut, aber wir können jetzt hier oben lang gehen, ne?
Walking around the upstairs mezzanine, I found myself in a small balcony overlooking the dance floor, where a tabletop of placards had been set out. At the side, a board marked dance steps looked like it would hold the placards in a chosen order, directing the dance below. All I had to do was set it up, then ring the bell.
Oh Gott, ich habe doch nicht aufgepasst. Ich glaube, wir müssen es so machen, dass die den Kuchen hier rüberschieben. Würde Sinn ergeben.
The dancers moved around the dance floor like clockwork soldiers, directed by the moves on the board, and with their movements, the cart holding the wedding cake could be pushed around too.
Oh, jetzt muss ich auch noch merken. Aber
There was already a cart in that slot.
guck mal kurz, warte mal. Geht rüber, ne, geht nach darüber, ne? Geht nach darüber und schiebt's einmal nach oben. So. Promenade. Dann müssen wir nach rechts rüber. Kann man das auch so?
That wouldn't work.
Ah, okay. Im Prinzip muss er rechts rüber, einmal runter. Einmal hoch, links rüber, einmal runter. Das letzte ist runter. Ich weiß gerade nicht, was die anderen machen. Ich muss mal... Guck mal kurz. Ist die falsche Richtung? Karussell ist nach oben. Promenade nach rechts. Ja. Okay. Ist jetzt verkehrt. Ich muss aber... Das ist verkehrt. Schön haben wir es im Kreis geschoben. Links rüber, runtergeschoben. Rechts rüber. Ah, oh, komm. Das ist richtig. Karussell ist verkehrt. Erst Progress, Joyette. Erst Progress, dann Joyette. Nein! Ah! Wir müssen die beiden tauschen. So. Weil das Karussell macht die vorherige Bewegung nochmal um 1.
Heading down from the mezzanine, I saw what I was after. The cake cart had been pushed off the dance floor and into reach.
So muss das. So muss das.
While Mrs. Craddock rubbed her temples, I had a moment of opportunity. I knew I wasn't supposed to cut the cake if I wasn't the groom, but these were unusual circumstances.
Did you just touch the wedding cake?
Certainly not. I was just admiring it.
I should hope so. If I catch you with so much as a crumb on your fingers, you will be in serious trouble.